chasing down another challenge. Look at Islam as obviously a very good fighter, big challenge, one of the best in the world. So honestly, preparation is much the same. Challenging 5-round title fight. So just working on a solid game plan and then going to put it together.
I just want to know, you got the biggest fight of your life in one of the most iconic venues, Madison Square Garden. What does that mean to you as a fighter, and who have you brought in? Have you brought in Greg Jones for this to help you prepare?
It's just the same team really, just the same guys I've been working with for a long time. Craig Jones helped out the last 2 camps, he's going to help out.
Apparently he's got the blueprint on Dagestani wrestlers.
I mean, yeah, it hasn't worked yet, but this time it will for sure. But yeah, it's obviously a massive arena, big pound for pound number 1.
JDM isn't backing away from the spotlight. He's aiming straight at Islam Makhachev, the undisputed lightweight champion. Riding a wave of confidence, JDM claims he has the skill set to shock the world and hand Islam a rare defeat. The fan base is divided. Some see it as fearless ambition, while others dismiss it as overconfidence. But one thing is certain, when someone calls out Makhachev, the stakes immediately skyrocket. Now the burning question remains, can JDM truly pull off the upset, or is he marching straight into a fight that could cost him the belt before it's even his?
He's got a slightly bigger frame, I would say. So, you know, I would say he's probably going to make the transition up to welterweight better. And I also think that, you know, Makhachev's striking took a real leap forward when he suffered that knockout loss. And I just think that he's overall a better, all-round mixed martial artist. You know, he's got tidier technique, you know, certainly in the striking realms.
JDM is getting ready for Islam Makhachev. How dangerous is he for Islam? So he's going to be an absolute nightmare. We've got Bilal, who's a wrestler. Look how we handle that. And you know he's a beast on the feet. Islam's not taking this one lightly. So him moving up, I still think he's a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division, but I think
JDM's mission is crystal clear. He isn't stepping in there just to scrape by with a decision. He wants a finish. The kind of exclamation mark that would shake Madison Square Garden and etch his name in history by toppling the pound-for-pound king. For JDM, it's never been about weathering the storm. It's about becoming the storm.
15. Do you feel like you're finishing this one? I'm going to go for it, you know. I would love, obviously, that'd be the best case scenario, get the finish. I can see it happening, you know. I can see it blowing the roof off MSG, taking out pound for pound number one with no.
That said, JDM isn't throwing out wild predictions, but he does have a vision of how the fight will unfold. He expects Islam to test the striking just long enough to set up his bread and butter wrestling. Makhachev's ability to blur the line between striking and grappling has broken countless opponents, suffocating them before they even find their rhythm. JDM knows that hesitation is deadly. Too many challengers waited too long to defend the takedown and paid the price. That's why he's gearing up for wrestling exchanges from the opening bell. For him, the first round isn't about just surviving. It's about proving he can absorb the champion's pressure, battle back in the clinch, and establish his own pace for the war ahead.
Do you expect him to try and... Turn that off. Do you expect Islam to try and strike with you, or do you think that his game plan might try and take you down?
It's hard to expect anything, you know. I definitely feel like he will test the feet, you know. So I think it's going to start on the feet, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think he's going to try and mix it up. I think he's going to probably try and get on the wrestling early, I'd imagine. Looking back on the Bilal fight, he probably sees that Bilal's mistake was maybe not getting on the wrestling early. So yeah, I expect in the first round we'll get into some, at least some grappling exchange.
And JDM isn't fooling himself into thinking the weight cut will tilt things in his favor. If anything, he's bracing for the opposite. He fully expects Makhachev to step in heavier, stronger, and even more dangerous, using the move up as fuel instead of a weakness. In JDM's eyes, this could be the sharpest version of Islam we've ever seen. But that's exactly the test he's chasing, meeting the champion at his absolute peak and proving he can rise under the brightest lights.
He's going to come up in weight, your weight class. Do you feel like that's going to slow him down a little bit?
It's hard to tell. Sometimes the weight cut will slow you down. So I expect the best Islam. I expect more filled out, stronger. I feel like it's going to be the best Islam Makhachev there's been. So yeah, I think the weight would probably be better for him, you know.
Another pay-per-view here next year. You win this, good chance you headline that. Does that help as well with the motivation stakes?
Honestly, not really. I'm motivated, you know. It's a big fight, it's a big challenge, he's a dangerous opponent, so I couldn't really be more motivated. But obviously, yeah, the dream would be obviously to get the finish over Islam and then back it up, big pay-per-view in Perth against one of the another top challenger.
Who do you feel like's next?
Oh, I don't know. I think, as it stands, I still think Shavkat probably give him the fight. I think Brady's done well. Brady and Usman even, he's done well. So one of those guys. And then also Leon Edwards and Carlos Prato. See how that fight plays out. I think it really comes down to timing and how things play out.
You brought in Craig Jones for the Burns camp, and if I'm not mistaken, I think also for the title fight.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to work with Craig for this one yet?
No, I haven't seen Craig since Montreal, but he is coming over within the next.
For Jack, the drive isn't about headlines or pay-per-view numbers. It's about the battle right in front of him. Islam stands as the most dangerous challenge of his career, and that fact alone pushes him to his limits. Of course, the dream scenario would be to finish the champ under the brightest lights, then return to Perth to headline a massive card against another elite contender. But for now, his focus is razor sharp. Beat Makhachev first, and everything else will fall into place.
So yeah, we've been working on a game plan, and then it'll be cool just to discuss that game plan with Craig, and then he'll obviously bring what he believes is the his idea as well.
So much of Volk's first success in the first Islam fight, he attributed a lot of it to Craig's mind and for grappling. You've worked with.
He also opened up about his training camp, noting that while he hasn't reconnected with Craig Jones just yet, that reunion is right around the corner. The groundwork has already been laid. But JDM is eager to sit down with Jones, compare strategies, and fine-tune the game plan for Islam. With Craig's world-class grappling expertise in his corner, he believes they can sharpen the small details that matter most, neutralizing Makhachev's wrestling and even turning those grappling exchanges into chances of his own.
You can hang with Craig. I feel like you can hang with anyone.
During the open workouts there was a little jab thrown at Ian Gary. He wasn't a name that you listed before. What are your thoughts on him?
He's doing good. I think he does what he does. He wins. He gets wins. He's like not the most exciting fighter, but like he's getting wins, you know. So yeah, I believe our paths will cross at some point.
Cool. Thanks, Jack.
What's it mean for you?
Jack went on to highlight how Craig's impact goes far beyond technique. It's his mindset, he explained, that truly sets him apart. Having battled against every type of grappler imaginable, Craig knows how to break things down in a way that instills real confidence in his training partners. He lives and breathes jiu-jitsu, adapts it seamlessly for MMA, and constantly reinforces the belief that if you can hang with him on the mats, you can handle anyone once the cage door closes. For JDM, that confidence is just as important as the skills themselves.
And the biggest fight of the year, and have you camp with, you obviously Ben Vickers, your brother, you guys really came up from Perth here, and now you're on the world stage in the most iconic arena, and the biggest fight of the year. It must be kind of special for you to be able to share that with them.
It is super special. Obviously, we're pretty focused on the task at hand, but yeah, obviously we also sit back, pinch ourselves sometimes, and just think like, yeah, we're in the number one spot, so now it's just time. But like we believe in ourselves and we go out there and prove to the world that we are top team and like we're the best fighter.
For JDM, what makes this journey even more meaningful is doing it with the same crew that's been by his side from the very beginning. Training with his brother and the Perth team that molded him, every session is a reminder of how far they've come, from small local gyms to the sport's grandest stage. He admits there are moments where they pause and reflect on that climb, but the focus never slips. Their belief in the work, in their bond, and in their game plan has carried them this far. Now, it's about walking into the cage and showing the world that a tight-knit team from Perth can build the best fighter alive.
What's it mean for you to be in the biggest fight of the year, and have you camp with, you obviously Ben Vickers, your brother, you guys really came up from Perth here, and now you're on the world stage in the most iconic arena, and the biggest fight of the year. It must be kind of special for you to be able to share that with them.
It is super special. Obviously, we're pretty focused on the task at hand, but yeah, obviously we also sit back, pinch ourselves sometimes, and just think like, yeah, we're in the number one spot, so now it's just time. But like we believe in ourselves and we can go out there and prove to the world that we are the top team and like we're the.
He highlights their rise as the result of an unbreakable team bond, built on brotherhood, trust, and years of shared grind on the mats. Having trained at the same gym since his teenage years, his coaches and teammates know his game inside and out. That deep familiarity creates a level of understanding you simply can't replicate elsewhere. For JDM, it's this loyalty and camaraderie that transformed a tight-knit crew from Perth into one of the most respected teams in the sport today.
Whoa.
What do you think is the secret to you guys being one of the best teams in the world?
I think just a strong camaraderie between us, strong trust, and yeah, we know each other. I've been at this gym since I was 15, so my coaches know me pretty as well as you're going to know anyone. So I think it's just a solid trust, brothership, and then...
Jack acknowledged that he hasn't been able to link up with Alexander Volkanovski during this camp just yet, but he's hoping the opportunity comes soon. Having trained with him in the past, Islam was always a major focus of discussion, and those lessons left a mark. For Jack, picking up insights from someone who has already shared 5 intense rounds with the champion is priceless, and he's eager to fold that knowledge into his own preparation.
You asked Volk a lot of questions about Islam. Well, obviously with...
I haven't yet, but hopefully I'll run into him. I can pick his brain a bit. But yeah, I've spoke to Volk about Islam in the past. I spent a couple camps with him. And yeah, it was definitely a topic of discussion.
Experts have also begun breaking down how this fight could unfold. And Alexander Volkanovski, who has logged plenty of training time with JDM, warns that writing him off would be a serious mistake. He highlighted how Della Maddalena stayed calm against a high-level grappler like Bilal, neutralizing the wrestling before flipping the script with his striking. Volkanovski believes that victory gave Jack not only momentum, but also a sharper awareness of takedown defense and grappling exchanges, turning him into a far tougher matchup than many realize. He mentioned he'd like to get in some work with JDM before the fight, but even if that doesn't happen, he's certain Islam won't be overlooking the challenge in front of him.
And I was with JDM at Scrappy MMA. He's getting ready for Islam Makhachev. You guys had that epic run together in camp where you won the title back. He was able to beat Bilal. The people that are doubting him, how dangerous is he for Islam, especially everything that you know about Islam and the time you've spent with him? I mean, you can't doubt him. Look, he's a welterweight, and you've got Bilal, who's a grappler, wrestler. Look how he handled that. And then you know he's a beast on the feet. And then he's early, and I guarantee you from that fight, his confidence in grappling and takedown defense has just gone to a whole nother level. So he's going to be an absolute nightmare. So it'll be good. I'm hoping to get some training with him for this one as well. But we'll tee something up for sure. But I mean, JDM, mate, he's a weapon. So I mean, I know that Islam's not taking this one.
When asked if Jack Della Maddalena could realistically derail Islam Makhachev's move up in weight, Volkanovski didn't hesitate to put his support behind his countryman. He pointed to Jack's sharp boxing and non-stop pressure as dangerous weapons that could trouble anyone in the world, even a fighter as complete as Islam. Volkanovski admitted that Makhachev remains a nightmare matchup for most of the division, but when it comes to JDM, he believes the Aussie's timing, precision, and power make him a genuine threat to pull it off.
And he should it. Do you believe he might be able to stop Islam going up to this weight class? JDM, stop him. Yeah, I mean, look, JDM's boxing and pressure that he can do, incredible. So I definitely can get a finish. All right, favorite team? Islam's great. Him moving up, I still think he's a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division. But
analyst Julius Walker also leaned in favor of JDM, highlighting that many people are overlooking the unique circumstances surrounding Islam's jump to welterweight. He explained that Makhachev is taking this fight on short notice, which limits his ability to properly add size and strength for the division. That could leave him giving up a physical edge against Jack. Walker stressed that, paired with JDM's elite striking, it's hard to imagine Islam finding success in prolonged stand-up exchanges. For that reason, he gives the advantage to the Aussie.
So this is a fun one that you're asking me. Is my coaches and the guys I'm down here with, we had a little bit of an argument about this one. I actually had taken JDM in that fight just due to the fact that, for one, I think a lot of people aren't thinking enough about the fact that Islam's moving up on this weight in really short notice. Because as far as I know, Islam was waiting for the result of the Bilal and JDM fight, and that fight was like 2 months ago, or 3 months ago or something like that. So it's like it's not like he's had a bunch of time to move up to welterweight. There's no way he's put on any real muscle. Like he might have put on like 2 pounds of muscle in the amount of he hasn't had any time to do so. So I think there's going to be a size difference. And then if you think that Islam's winning, my question is like, do you think he's going to beat JDM on the feet?
Walker questioned why so many analysts continue to favor Islam so heavily, pointing out that he isn't miles ahead of someone like Bilal Muhammad, a dominant grappler at 170 who JDM dismantled. He also referenced the Alexander Volkanovski fight, reminding fans that with Craig Jones in his corner, Folk nearly edged Islam on a full camp. And in Walker's eyes, JDM brings an even bigger challenge. He's taller, longer, and physically stronger. That combination, Walker believes, gives him the tools to defend takedowns, keep the fight upright, and land the kind of punches that could hand Makhachev a rare defeat. Beyond that, he argued a win for Jack wouldn't just be a career-defining moment, it would also free Islam to return to lightweight and finally clash with Arman Tsarukyan, a fight many fans have been begging for.
And then I don't understand why people because I feel like they're going to put Islam as the favorite, but it's like, dude, you mean to tell me Islam's that much better of a grappler than Bilal? You know what I mean? The 170-pound champion of the world who defeated literally everybody other than JDM. So I definitely actually can see JDM winning that fight. And another reason I can see JDM winning that fight is the last Australian that had training from Craig Jones, the Islam fight, when he fought Volkanovski. Volkanovski won on a full camp. It was a real close fight, and JDM's just a different animal, bigger, longer, stronger. So I actually think JDM's going to win that fight. I think he's going to be able to stuff the takedowns and land the shots on the feet, and I think he's actually going to claim that victory. And then I think that means that we're going to get Islam going back down to fight Topuria, which is...
So now the big question, who walks away with the belt? Will Islam's elite grappling once again prove too much for anyone to handle? Or will JDM's confidence, pressure, and crisp striking be the recipe for one of the biggest upsets in UFC history? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss an update on this blockbuster matchup.